And as I mentioned earlier in the show, he is the head coach of the second-ranked Clemson Tigers in the college football playoff rankings, getting set to take on Pittsburgh this weekend. He is Dabo Swinney back here in the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Coach?
Great, Rich. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. So Senior Day includes 4 juniors, and one of whom is Deshaun Watson. It's a unique situation, to say the least. How come you decided to come out in November and say these kids are going to go to the NFL draft and be part of a Senior Day?
Yeah, just people really haven't been paying attention. We've been saying that since the summer. These guys, we put them on we do our senior poster, and they've been on the senior poster, which was done in the summer, and we've listed them as seniors in everything that we've done because they're graduating, and that's been the plan all along. To me, being a senior is not about eligibility; it's about getting your degree. And Deshaun Watson, for example, he only has 5 hours this semester, so he's more of a senior than some of our seniors. So that's been the plan from day one. Was for he and Artavis. They actually are roommates, and they came here, and both of them are graduating in 3 years, and are ready to move on to the next level. That's what they came to college to do, was to have a great career and also get their degree. So they've accomplished that, and they're ready to play at the next level, and I believe they're ready. I think they're both, going to be great additions to the National Football League for sure, but really proud of them and the example they've set for so many. I mean, to graduate college in 3 years is just really difficult. Sean took 20 hours this summer, and it just shows you the type of drive and commitment and dedication and his ability to balance a lot of things and priorities and all that, he and Artavis. So, and then Wayne Gallman is a fourth-year. He's a redshirt junior from an eligibility standpoint, but he's the same thing, graduating in December. And, we've known since last year that this was going to be his last year. Same thing with Mike Williams. In fact, Mike Williams would have left last year had he not had an injury. So he's a redshirt junior as well, and graduating and having his degree here in a few weeks. And so, again, that's what I always tell them. It's till graduation do we part. Now, sometimes you have some guys that graduate either in December or May, and maybe they've got another year of eligibility, and they choose to come back. And so those are things that we discuss with all those guys individually, because sometimes they need that extra year. Like B.J. Goodson last year, he needed that 5th year, and he was a 4th-round draft pick, doing well with the Giants. Sharon Peak, he actually graduated December of his 4th year as well, but he really needed that year because he had been hurt. He had missed about 2 years with injuries. He really needed last year to position himself to go be drafted and doing the things that he's doing with the Jets now. So, every player has their own individual circumstances, but those 4 guys are all ready and all have their degrees, and I'm excited about their next step. But their focus is finishing here as champions.
And so where do you put on a list, if you have one or not, of getting kids pro-ready as part of your job description?
I think it starts from the minute they get here. Pro-ready to me is not just, being a good football player. To me, pro-ready is so I tell guys all the time, if all you are is known as a guy that catches a ball or throws a ball or tackles somebody, then we failed. We want to develop them as complete people. We want to develop champions off the field. And I think that's, if you look around the league, I think we got, 35, 6 or 7 guys in the NFL, and we, obviously our drafted guys, everybody knows who they are, but we have tons of free agents that have made that league. I think since I've been the head coach, we're right at about 78% of the guys who've either been drafted or signed as a free agent have made the roster. And you're talking about, 80-plus guys since I've been the head coach. And that is a tremendous statistic, especially when you know that 1.67 of them, play in the NFL, of college players. So I think that speaks to the holistic approach that we take here at Clemson in developing our guys. I mean, our guys come here, we empower them, we don't entitle them. The guys that come out of our program that have been here, and as we've established the culture, they know how to work, they know how to show up on time, And they're all doing well. You look at a guy like Adam Humphries, for example, who's starting for the Bucks, having a great year, undrafted, had to try out, and ended up starting his first NFL game. And yes, he's a good player, but it's all the other stuff. It's Jerron Brown, it's with the Cardinals and the career that he's had, an undrafted, guy. We've just had lots of those guys. And then our draft picks, guys that are easy. You look at a Grady Jarrett with the Atlanta Falcons and what he's doing, and Vic Beasley,
Right.
Shaq Lawson. Just these guys are coming out of here. They're coming out with degrees because we put a priority on the education. I've had 135 seniors and 129 graduates since I've been the head coach. And then just developing them as men, along with the football side of it, obviously.
Dabo Swinney, Clemson head coach, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. So have you had conversations with NFL scouts about Deshaun Watson? Just where they
had
come
conversations with everybody about Deshaun, for sure.
And how deep does it get? Just because I guess now it's out there, or has been out there, that
It's been out there.
Yeah, as you've been pointing out.
We've told everybody.
It's a unique situation. I mean, you have to admit, right? I mean, you don't hear about this too much, that somebody who's going to be a first-round selection, if not top 5, if not first overall, playing a college season with everybody pretty much knowing he's gone when it's all done.
Like I said, for us, we've said that since the spring to everybody who's come through here, every scout, every person. Listen, Deshaun's graduating in December, and he's going pro. Make sure you do your evaluation. I told everybody, and it's not been a secret, but for some reason, I guess, and I've said that many times, but for whatever reason, I guess people just took notice of it yesterday. But we've honored them as seniors all year long. They've been in our senior leadership meetings. Those 4 guys, since last spring. Again, because this has been their plan and things that we've talked about, and it's really not any news around here at all.
So what about your outreach with guys who have left already? For instance, DeAndre Hopkins has been having somewhat of a trying season with a new quarterback there in Houston. Do you chat with him about some of his trials and tribulations at the professional level still?
From time, I try to keep up with all those guys. I have not talked to Nuke, this season since he's been out there. I saw DJ Reader, who's out there. Talked a little bit to him this weekend, but Nuke will be just fine. He's obviously a great player, but I do keep up with, as many of them as I can. I actually had a chance to go see the Falcons and the Chargers in our off weekend, and had 3 guys playing in that game. So keep up with all those guys, and really proud of them. And there's a few guys who haven't graduated yet that I write a letter to every year, challenging them to get their plan on when they're going to finish school. And all those guys are playing in the NFL. So. But I stay after them in that regard.
So removing your guys from the mix, I've got Dabo Swinney here on the Rich Eisen Show for a few more minutes. Removing your guys from the mix, is Lamar Jackson the most talented kid you've seen with your own 2 eyes this year?
He is a dynamic football player. There's no doubt. He's special. I think as far as guys that we've played, he and Dalvin Cook are just 2 incredibly dynamic players. Lamar obviously is a great quarterback, and beat you with his arm, but he just is so explosive. Whether it's a designed run or it's just a play breaks down and he takes off on you. Just very dynamic in that regard, and he has the ball in his hands every play. And a tough competitor, just a great competitor. Very impressed with him. And then Dalvin Cook he's just not a running back. He's a great running back, but he is the same thing, just so dynamic. He's great in the passing game. He can break tackles. He can beat you. He can outrun everybody on the field, and he's a relentless competitor too. So those are 2 guys that we've played that, to me, I think are just tremendous, outstanding competitors and football players.
Pitt, Wake Forest, South Carolina, and then if everything goes according to plan, a championship game before maybe playing it off again. How do you keep your heads screwed on straight with your kids?
Oh man, just 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. We really that's the culture that we have here. We've got an opportunity this weekend. If we can find a way to win, it'd be a 10th win for our 6th year in a row, and only Alabama can say that, and it'd be a chance for our 5th division title and a punch our ticket to the conference championship. So the way we have had that consistency is really just having a daily focus and just continue each week to prepare with purpose, to make sure we apply great effort with technique and have all-in commitment to be the best we can be on and off the field every single day. And that formula doesn't change for us. And we truly look at every game as the biggest game of the year. We don't prepare any different for anyone. We always say, hey, we're playing Clemson this weekend. That's why I challenge our defense. I'll say, hey, if you were playing Clemson's offense this week, you were playing Deshaun Watson, you're getting ready to cover Mike Williams, that's the preparation I want. That's the juice I want. And so it doesn't matter who we play, because we compete on the practice field. We go good on good every day. And so, game day for us is something we look forward to. And we just talk about playing to a standard, and that's allowed us to be very, very consistent over the past several years.
Last one for you. Would you let 4 more teams in? Play it off with 8, start it around Christmas time? Would you have a problem with that?
Well, I think they'd have to adjust the schedule, especially having gone through 15 games last year with these guys. That's a long season. It's a grind, and, this is college. I think that we've got the right formula. I like the BCS, to be honest with you.
Oh, boy.
I thought they got it right. But I think what we have right now is the best of both worlds, the people who clamor for the playoff and the people who love the bowls and the tradition of that college football has. So I think we got it right. But if they did expand it, something's got to give. We have the playoffs now. We're in a situation now. If you're one of those top 4 or 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams, you better win this week, or it's going to affect. This is a playoff game for us this weekend, and then guess what? We're going to go to Wake. That's a playoff game. It matters. And then we got South Carolina, and that's a playoff game. And then guess what? We got to go play in a conference championship game, and that's a playoff game. And then we're going to go to the playoff, and then you got to win that. Trust me, it's just disguised as something else, but we already have the playoffs in college football, in my opinion. So if they wanted to go to a different format, then I think something's got to give. You got to take a game away, because I think 15 games that's a lot of football.
Yeah, but if you're sending people to the next level, there's no rookie wall, right? That's pretty much of an NFL schedule right there, 15 games.
No question.
Think about it,
No question, but to play 12 games and add layers to the playoff, and now you're extending it to, 16 or whatever.
Sure.
You'd have to get rid of the championship games, or you'd have to play 11-game home regular schedule. Something would have to change. And, for me, I'm a little bit more of a traditionalist in the game and the way it's been.
Coach, thanks for the time. Really appreciate it. We'll talk with you down the line.
All right. Good to be with you.
You bet. Same here. That's Dabo Swinney, Clemson football head coach here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.